If you've ever listened to Lil Durk, you are aware that his music is authentic, significant, and based in the South Side of Chicago. Early in the decade of the 2010s, Durk began experimenting with the harsh sound of drill music, which came from communities like Woodlawn and Englewood. As the face of Only the Family, OTF, he used it as a platform to tell stories of adversity, tragedy, and survival. For him and his crew, his songs were real life. On the city streets was a man known as 051 Melly, a moniker that hung heavy in Chicago's gang culture. Melly belonged to the Mickey Cobra's Young Money 051 group, which congregated around 50th and 51st Streets. Because of his dreaded notoriety, he was known as the Grave Digger. Melly was more than just a street handle. He was a man who actually experienced the violence and was allegedly connected to a number of serious crimes, including a few homicides. There was more to Durk and Melly's feud than just two men not getting along. THF 46, Trigger Happy Family, 051YM, and other Black Disciples were all part of a more complex web of OTF rivalries. This wasn't a beef that grew out of some specific incident, but from a decade of retaliation violence that started around 2012. Both sides had lost family members, and it was personal. The 2012 murder of 051 Zico, a close friend of Melly and cousin to KTS Von, killed by a THF 46 member named Aki, sparked this beef. Melly was deeply hurt by this loss, which strengthened his position in the conflict, particularly against Durk-aligned factions. The murder of Durk's friend from 600, L.A. Capone, in 2013 caused things to worsen even more. There were rumors on the street that L.A. Capone may have been involved in the murder of 051 Fats, while some claimed that Melly's 051YM sought revenge. In the same year, 600 killed emerging rap artist Lil Mark of 051 in retaliation. Durk posted a picture of the scene where Lil Mark was killed and received criticism for his music, demonstrating his lack of regret. Along with other OTF losses, such as T.Y. and Chino, who were close to Durk, Melly's name was still being called out on the streets. Melly became a public figure target as a result of those killings, and there were even rumors that Durk had placed a $150,000 reward on his head, though no one has ever been able to prove it. The strange thing is that Melly continued to enjoy Durk's music in spite of everything. He grooved to songs like What Happened to Virgil, which only served to highlight the complexity of their relationship, enemies bound together by a shared culture. With rhymes that alluded to Melly and 051YM, Durk retaliated to Melly in his own songs. He further implied that he was involved in Melly's demise when he said that a guy from Taekwon World named Nate007 backdoored him. Melly allegedly went too far by shooting up Nate's house following a fight, endangering Nate's family. That move pushed Nate to set Melly up later on. Melly spent his whole life on a tightrope. THF Raheem shot him in the head and foot in Englewood in 2016. After Melly survived, Raheem, the cousin of FBG Duck, was supposedly slain by 051 Aero. Rumor had it that Melly and FBG Duck were close, but Raheem's murder complicated the chaos. Everything culminated on September 1, 2019, at around 2:51 a.m. Melly was shot and killed in the 6100 block of South St. Lawrence Avenue while attending a house party in Woodlawn. Rumor circulated in the streets that he had been set up by Nate007 as payback for the earlier incident. Although no one has ever been formally charged with being the shooter, Durk's lyrics and online fan theories continue to fuel curiosity despite the lack of solid evidence. Although Melly's passing was a blow to 051YM, the feud continued. With diss tunes like No Peace and Don't Play With Me aimed at OTF's King Von and numerous others, 051 Kiddo went all out in 2023. Durk turned his pain into a global music empire. Even though he is one of Chicago's most well-known musicians, the anguish of his losses, friends like L.A. Capone, Nusky, King Von, and D-Thang, remains a part of his music. Durk's story is about surviving in a world where many people fail. On the drill scene, Melly remains a legendary personality who lived his life according to his own terms. His name lives on in the myth and the music, a representation of the dedication and the conflict that filled Chicago's streets. Although there haven't been any significant altercations recently, the beef is still simmering in the music, diss recordings, and the memory of the deceased.